The American horse has been an icon for hundreds of years and undeserving of the legacy it has now become beholding. It is for us as humans to be able to judge when a horse should be put to death and the way in which that death should occur. All across America, we can see shining fields, some with horses in foe, grazing in the blazing sun, perhaps a few colts kicking their hind legs in the air and running to play with one another. It is all quite amazing. From the birth to the weaning of the yearling and on to the years beyond, not much different than a child, but we allow a child to be separated from its mother and family to supply some nation with food and consider a delicacy. I think not, and so this is a true story about what really happens to the beloved American horse. Equine Advocates, one of the nation's largest organizations for the saving of horses, states, "We at Equine Advocates strongly believe that the horse slaughter promotes the inhumane treatment of horses, horse theft, and other illegal activities. As well, it is a clear violation of cruelty laws." With the December 2014 passing of the ominous bill by Congress that unfounded required expectations, no slaughterhouses would be able to open in the U.S. for at least 2 years. If it were not for feminine bloating, the disease that people can get from eating horse meat, even those 2 years without slaughter may not have taken place. But then John Holland reported that the government's abuse and neglect of horses may be fraudulent, thus opening the way to once again open slaughterhouses in America. The 2016 omnibus bill that was put forth to prevent meat markets by defunding the inspectors, it passed another 2 years. And every 2 years, once again, equine advocates around the world must band together to research and sign petitions to allow the horse another 2 years to live. Not unlike a prisoner on death row, except what did the horse deserve to die? So the process is never-ending battle. This issue will never be closed since there are schools, hospitals, and the like all over the country that have horse meat as a part of the daily diet. School as children eating meat that has the potential to harm or kill. The way Americans skip the system to buy and collect as many beefing horses for the cheapest price from the sale barns across the South and take them to the border of Mexico, by the way of Texas, or by the northern borders into Canada. Often in the fall months, these horses can go for a little as $25 a head and can weigh anywhere from 250 to 1,200 pounds. The going rate for a pound of horse meat to the buyers is $1 a pound. Other than the cost of transporting the horse to its slaughter destination, the buyer can walk away with as much as $10,000 for 2 days of work. The fall months are notorious for cheap horse sales because farmers often have to sell off herds due to the high feed bills during the winter. They may not necessarily want to sell their horses, but do not want the horses to starve. After reaching the final destination, boards have been already placed side by side like horizontal positioning, and the horses are passed through and weighed, and then slaughtered once they reach the other side, into the next country. This usually means the horses are stuck in the neck with a knife that doesn't always kill. Many slaughter horses are too cheap to spend 25 cents on a bullet to put the horse down humanely. Overall, the heat is then taken off the horse buyer and transporter. It didn't happen in America, so therefore it was not illegal. From there, meat is shipped to France, Canada, and other countries that consider horse meat a delicacy. That was one way in which horses are bought, transported, and sold to slaughter, but our own government has closed slaughterhouses in America, has also been a direct part of the roundup to kill across America. The AWHPC, American Wild Horse Prevention, with other 45 related agencies, are devoted to the end of the roundup, torture, and slaughter of the American horse. The BLM turned a blind eye to the intentions of a known kill buyer in selling thousands and federally protected wild horses for slaughter in Mexico, said Susan Roy, director of AWHPC. Those quoted includes more than 50 horse advocacy, conservation, public interest, and historic preservation organizations. This unconscionable and illegal treatment of these American icons deserves immediate investigation and action. It all started when several ranchers wanted the wild Mustang removed from their ranches as well as the federal grounds where the horses graze along with cattle. Much like the Native American, these horses have been there from the beginning. The cattle came later. So why would any person believe it had complete domain over the federal lands? Roundup starts with men on ATVs on the ground and a few helicopters in the air. The helicopter fins the herds of horses, radios on the ground in control, and then sets out to round up the herds. The horses run, often being separated from their family as well as many foe by their side. Many die before they even reach the pens they will be held in from heart attacks or constant running. After they are rounded up, they are then placed in pens, large numbers, way over the carrying capacity for a horse. Several will die from disease, starvation, or even fights over dominance of the pen, because they are all now held with strangers, no longer with family. Who profits from tearing the family and ultimate slaughter? The U.S. government. A video taken and published on the Dodo website shows the horror of the death of a tiny foal. Dodo states, over a period of several years, the BLM illegally sold nearly 1,800 wild horses for $10 apiece to a Colorado rancher and known as a kill buyer, who resold the animals to slaughter. The BLM charged taxpayers $140,000 to deliver the horses to the rancher, who made $154,000 in profit by selling the horse for slaughter. Dodo reports alternative methods to the madness of continuous horse slaughter, starting with the birth control methods that have been proven effect in the horse. The American Mustang, as well as the horse itself, has been here in America as long as we have, perhaps longer. They have waged and won wars with us, some dying in battle. They grew our crops with us. They delivered our mail. They brought us from point A to point B. They should be protected just like the American wolf or bison or any other endangered animal. They are alternative ways to control the birth rate of the horse and continue to allow it to roam and graze the federal land alongside the cattle. After all, it is the cattle who are alien to the land. We as a nation need to band together to assure this iconic animal lives a long and healthy life. We can do this by supporting groups like PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. We can adopt a horse or donate our time or money to the cost of care. We can hold sales and other fundraising to help feed a horse, as well as get vets on board to treat for free. We can ask legislation to create a bill to stop the slaughter or transfers to slaughter and petition the people to support such a bill. There are so many ways to protect this innocent animal from the slaughterhouse. Join hands and let's rally for the American horse. Thank you.